Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, I saw this article and thought it was interesting. Now, if you guys couldn't tell by my avatar, I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan. I've been a huge Ninja Turtle fan since I was like in diapers practically. And my name on this channel originally was Phil TMNT. Then I later on rebranded the channel to Scatter Knight. But I originally had this channel be called Phil TMNT, and you guys saw that I had watched the Mutant Mayhem film, or I mentioned it, and I was vocal about how I thought it was a good kids film, but as a Ninja Turtle film, I thought it was horrible. Still to this day, I think it's horrible Ninja Turtle film. But good kids film. I even saw the Tales of the Ninja Turtles, and I thought it was pretty decent. Like the first arc was good, second arc was like okay, what the how did I don't didn't see it. See the use, but point is, based off this headline, the Mutant Mayhem sequel is getting delayed to 2 years from now, say it's next year. So Paramount is also delaying the release of After the Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, to later in 2026. Okay. I don't need that. Thank you. So, Paramount Pictures announced several changes to its release calendar on Friday. With and by Friday they mean this was all the way in May that they mentioned this. I'm just covering this because just found it. With the animated sequel to TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2 now set for wide theatrical release September 17th, 2027, after having previously been slated on October 9th, 2026, being next year. Director Jeff Rowe is helming the follow-up to his original film that hit theaters on August 2023 and collected $180 million worldwide, and the star-studded cast from the first Mutant Mayhem film, and you can see the actors. And it just tells you that the franchise debuted in 1984. If you guys are wanting to know about like the other Paramount things getting moved, you guys can um look at it as you guys want. Um, but the thing I'm focusing on in this video is that now, besides being released on October 9th, 2026, now Mutant Mayhem 2 is getting released September 17th of next year. I wish I could be excited about this. I genuinely do. Like I said earlier, I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan. I'm a lifelong Ninja Turtle fan. I've been a Ninja Turtle fan since practically all my life. Like I said, since I was in diapers practically. So practically all my life. And I'm 29 now. And I even met Kevin Eastman, one of the co-creators of the Ninja Turtles, a few years back at C2E2. If you guys want to see that picture, I have posted it in my community tab. I don't post often in my community tab, so it won't take you that long to find the picture of me and Kevin Eastman. I'm in cosplay. I look like a freaking nerd. That's how much I am a Ninja Turtle fan. I want to meet one of the Ninja co-creators. I would love to meet Peter Laird. I wish he did conventions because I will meet him too. I want to meet him. But point is, like I said earlier, I enjoyed Mutant Mayhem as a kids film, but as a Ninja Turtle film, it was bad, in my humble opinion. As a Ninja Turtle film, it was bad, in my opinion. Sure, there were moments I liked with the pun towards Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Peter Laird being that light up thing that April and the Turtles were on that one rooftop when they essentially first met, and then the high school April 1-2, later on the Turtles 1-2, quality Eastman High, and the little second of like we got to hear the Ninja rap. And sure, the Shredder, the design of the Shredder looks cool, and we've been told that he's going to be more menacing in the sequel, which I'm like then Superfly, which I'm hoping that's the case because the Shredder is the guy for the Ninja Turtles. The Shredder is equivalent to the Emperor in Star Wars, to Megatron with Transformers. The Shredder is top tier. I think at least one of the things that got the Mutant Mayhem film, which there's a lot of criticisms I have for the Mutant Mayhem film, but I think one thing that could make the sequel significantly better than the one we got a few years back is that the Mutant Mayhem film that we got a few years back made so many pop culture references to this day that I like give it 10, even 20 years, 30 years, it won't even have the same legs as like something like the 1990 film has, who recently was released not that long ago. I saw that with my father when the 1990 film was released. Yeah, I'm not gonna say there's won't be kids who will be adults then if the Mutant Mayhem film gets re-released that will have nostalgia towards Mutant Mayhem. If they do, I'm happy for them. But I can't really see as much. I can see like the jokes will. I can see like sure the story premise of Mutant Mayhem is good, but the execution I have an issue with, I should say, and part of that is because of the amount of pop culture references that it had. The Ninja Turtle trilogy, sure, had its pop culture references here and there, but wasn't as many in a singular movie in the trilogy. And yes, I'm comparing this to the trilogy, each movie in this trilogy, than Mutant Mayhem did, which is why the Ninja Turtle 1990s trilogy aged like fine wine for the most part. Sure, the trilogy has its problems, like the third one being the goofiest. Can get criticize all you want, but at least it can. The 90s trilogy, even if you compare the 2007 Ninja Turtles film, can stand up longer on its toes than the Mutant Mayhem film because it doesn't make as many pop culture references. And if they can scale back the pop culture references, sure, maybe make like a few, like I mean few, I mean like maybe 5 at most, and focus on the story and the turtles being a tad bit more serious, even though they're teenagers. That'll be cool. That and maybe even making like Mutant Mayhem into 2 parts, like the sequel into 2 parts. Mutant Mayhem 2 being part 1, Mutant Mayhem 3 part 2. Have it be like the Shredder being that type of character because he's like Thanos level for the Ninja Turtles. What am I trying to say? They can't fuck this up. They can't. I really want to like this incarnation of the Turtles. And I'm open-minded to. But the sequel had to have... The sequels has to step up its game, essentially. And we're supposed to get a second season of Tales of the Ninja Turtles? Because I think it was like, what, 2 seasons before the release of the sequel? And then, what, 2 seasons afterwards? So, like... Maybe the threat of the Shredder will make the Turtles realize that, yeah, high school is fun and all, having friends is cool and all, but because of the Shredder, because of the Foot, because of whatever else who's a threat to the Turtles in the film, maybe the Shredder could be the reason why they go back to their core as they always intended and live in the shadows like true ninja. Sure, the Turtles always had kind of sucked. Stay in the shadows 24/7. Just look at Secret of the Ooze with the dance club, for example. I'll give you guys that. But sure, it's always been somewhat flirted with that the Turtles made public appearances here and there, but not as much as it is now. Like, as it was in the, not to the degree as it was in, um, was Mutant Mayhem. They, it wasn't like practically worldwide accepted. And I truly hope with the threat of the Shredder that the Turtles will realize, hey, maybe we should go back to the shadows, back to how things used to be for our friends' safety. And only having April know of their existence. And sure, Casey too. Maybe have a Doctor Strange Spider-Man moment from No Way Home and make everyone forget about them. Who knows? That's just where I stand. Like I said, I really want to like this version of the Turtles. Right now, I don't. I'm hoping Mutant Mayhem 2 will do that for me. But with that said, what do you fellow knights think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you fellow knights later.